I know you guys want to know the juicy stuff. I did not have a girlfriend. I was depressed. I was confused. If I make more money, I will be more happy. At that point, my focus was make more money, make more money. My life was moving so fast. Some days I wake up and I feel pain, and some days I just feel sane. But no matter the day, I got to make way for the everyday mundane. Yesterday, while I was going through my routine day and playing music in the background like we all do, Kid Cudis' Pursuit of Happiness just turned on. And no matter how old this song is, no matter how many times I've heard it, it just ignites this amazing mood that I can't explain. But yesterday, besides the amazing mood, it also made me question about the pursuit of my happiness. Am I really happy? Now, I am aware that happiness is subjective. For example, something that brings you happiness may not bring me happiness, and something that brings me happiness may not bring you happiness. But I wanted to get down to the root of it, of what really brings me happiness, what makes me tick, what makes my life worth living. And that's why for me to understand this, I thought it's a good idea for me to look back on the last few years of my life and try to figure out what makes me really happy. So I've divided this into 3 phases of my adult life. The first phase is between the age of 18 and 20. The second phase is between the age of 20 to 24. And the third phase is between 24 and right now. Right now I'm 25 years old, but in 2 months I will be 26. Phase 1 between 18 to 20 was actually the lowest point of my life because I was depressed. I was confused about what did I want to do with my life. I had no idea. I was feeling lost. Like so many thoughts were coming into my mind. Maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that. But what if I do this and I screw up and my life is ruined? All of these fears overwhelmed me and just kept me in my room crying most of the time, and it was a really difficult time for me to navigate. But one thing that was going for me was I was in a relationship and I had a girlfriend at that time. The next phase, 20 to 24, was absolutely opposite to what I was leading in phase 1. I was in college studying to get my physiotherapy degree, a career that I actually loved and enjoyed doing. I had started an online business which not only gave me money to support myself but also gave me some money to spend on some luxuries like buying my first car. And because I was in college and I was surrounded by amazing friends, I had an amazing social life. But the one thing about this phase is I was not in any committed relationship, or I did not have any girlfriend as such. And that brings us to the third phase, that was between 24 and the present. Now this is the point where I graduated and also my business was bringing in good money, but there was no scalability beyond a certain point. Like I had reached the maximum scalability, and no matter if I put more effort, I was not going to be able to grow the business anymore. So that's when I made a decision to shut down my business and instead focus my time and energy on my professional career as a physiotherapist and on this YouTube channel. Now what this means in terms of income is I would be taking a huge pay cut because the money I'm making right now is not as much as I was making when I ran the online business. And because I spend most of my time working as a physiotherapist, and when I'm not working as a physiotherapist, working on my YouTube channels, I don't really have any time for a social life. That is, I hardly go out, I hardly meet up with friends, and it also means that I currently am not in a relationship or do not have a girlfriend. So now that we know all that I had going on for me and all that was not going for me during the various phases of my life, let's try to figure out which phase made me the happiest. But before we get into that, I know you guys want to know the juicy stuff as to why I had a girlfriend in phase 1 but no girlfriend in phase 2 and phase 3. Basically phase 2 I did not have a girlfriend because I was still getting over the previous relationship and living this fast life that, you know, I was just focusing on my college, building my business and just having a good time with my friends that I didn't even have the time to stop and think or contemplate about anything. My life was moving so fast. And the reason I do not have a girlfriend right now is because I am spending so much of my time working as a physiotherapist and working on this YouTube channel, and most of my time I'm either in this room or in my clinic working, and I really rarely go out. So when it comes to the question of which phase was I the happiest, well, obviously not phase 1, because phase 1 was an all-time low. Like, besides the girlfriend, I had nothing else going on for me. Phase 2 was actually really interesting for me, because at that point my focus was make more money, and every time I hit a new high, I got more and more happy, and that reinforced my thought that I had as a kid, that if I make more money, I will be more happy. But then it reached the point where the business kind of stagnated, and I couldn't really put in any effort to take it to any new heights, because it had reached its peak. And even though I was making good money, I started to get restless and I was not feeling good. And that's because I realized that the joy and the fulfillment that I was getting was not from the more money that I was making, but the effort I was putting into building that business. That really drove me, the ability to build a business and grow it more. And when it reached the point where I couldn't grow the business more, but I was still making good money, like money that I never thought I would be able to make from this business, it didn't really satisfy me. And right now, at this point of my life, I'm feeling very content working as a physiotherapist and making these videos, because this is something that really gives me deep fulfillment that I never felt before. No amount of money can replace the joy and contentment you feel when you're able to make a difference in a patient's life and improve their life. Or even when I'm able to create these YouTube videos out of just ideas in my head, it just is a feeling that I cannot describe. So phase 2, I was getting out of the dark part of my life and just trying to figure out myself and trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, where I saw myself. And now in phase 3, I would say I have a pretty decent idea about myself and about what I want to do with my life. And so now I'm just focused and honing in the skills so that I can build the perfect life, or at least the close to perfect life that I would want to live and one day share with somebody else as well. The ideal life or the peak happiness for me would be having the girlfriend like phase 1, having the social life and the income like phase 2, and having the career fulfillment like phase 3. And I'm pretty confident in my ability to one day reach these 3 ideal goals. And also I'm pretty confident that once I reach this point, I will have new goals of what I want my ideal life to be, or what will give me happiness. I guess that's why it's called pursuit of happiness, because if you reach the peak happiness, you're just going to go downhill from there. So that's why I believe it's amazing that we are always going to be chasing happiness, because it's a pursuit and not the peak happiness.